My dead boyfriend's family wants me to visit and be a part of their lives. My 23F boyfriend 26M, Ryan, passed away last April. He was struggling with a Xanax addiction and someone gave him those street songs that were just heroin and fentanyl. I've been okay about it, more or less. I still miss him but I'm trying to move on. His family, his dad and 2 sisters, 30F and 34F, want me to be a part of their lives. I met the older one once when Ryan was still alive, but the younger sister was in jail and my ex didn't bring me around his dad, though they talked about me, from what I hear. Ryan talked to his sister about me when he visited her in jail, but I didn't know and haven't talked to her. I only met his family at the funeral, but I still keep in touch every once in a while. Still haven't met the sister who was in jail because she got out about 6 months after his death. They all want to see me, which is really sweet, but I'm worried. The only real thing we have in common is Ryan, so I know it's going to come up. And I'm worried that they want to get close to me as a way to feel close to him. I've been really trying to focus on myself and my growth out of grief, but I know they're grieving terribly. I feel like a coward for feeling this way, but I'm scared to see them because I don't want to fall back into my grief. I have no idea what to say to them about it. I care about them and want to help them feel better, but I don't know that having me around is necessarily going to help. But I also don't know that it won't. I know it won't help me, because like I said, we don't have anything else really in common. Sometimes his dad calls me to talk on his drive home from work, but a lot of times he breaks down and cries. He's an incredibly tough and intense dude, a former Marine, and I usually just listen and tell him it's okay to cry and that I understand his hurt. I don't want to just disappear from the family's lives because I know they care about me and want to have a relationship with me, but I have no idea what that's supposed to look like. I don't really feel comfortable around them. They're good people but just not my kind of people. I know they want to look out for me, and know that they know Ryan would want me to be looked after, but I keep pushing it away because I don't think that's what I need. How can I possibly help them feel better, feel like they're honoring his wishes while helping myself? Too long did not read family of boyfriend that passed away wants to get close to me, but I don't know that's what I need and have no idea how to maneuver this situation. As harsh as it sounds, I think you being part of their lives is going to be bad for them in the long run. Like you said, it's likely because they want to feel close to him through you. This is unlikely to end well. They won't truly move on, and even worse, what happens if you eventually meet someone else? Are they going to be okay with that, or will they see it as an insult to their son's memory? I honestly believe it's better off for you and them to distance yourselves. You weren't really a part of their lives to begin with. They want you to be in their lives because to them, it seems like some sort of connection with Ryan. While this seems innocent, it's incredibly unhealthy for everyone involved. They will cling to you, and never really deal with their grief. You won't be able to fully move on. It feels like you are a substitute for therapy, mainly for the father. Hello. Thanks for reaching out to me. I hope you are all doing well and healing as best as you can after your loss. I am trying to do the same. And I feel like it is best for me if I do not visit. I mean no disrespect, and really do wish you all the best. I just feel like visiting will continue to reopen old wounds, and it's best for me if I do not. When my brother died, his girlfriend became like a sister family member, but she had been to a couple gatherings. Our family at least kind of knew her before he passed. I think she really helped my mom, and my mom helped her too. There's a lot of men in our family. I think it was good for my mom to have another woman to relate with. She's also dated other people since, and it's never been a bother. We want her to be happy. It's really one of those things where you just have to assess the situation and see what you think is best. If they want you in your life for unhealthy reasons, there will only be unhealthy results. The trouble is that if their reasons are unhealthy, they probably don't even know it. This is affecting your mental health. You'll have to break up with them. They're grieving, but they also sound like their lives were a mess before all of this. Maybe see them one more time. Share some good memories and then let them know you must move on and you hope they respect it. If they don't, you might have to block them. This is a lot of free emotional labor you are giving them, and it will eventually take its toll on you. I, personally, would not continue the relationship with his family. To be blunt, you don't owe them anything. If you're moving on with your life and don't feel that maintaining a relationship with his family is good for you, don't. It's a tragedy what happened. It's sad. It's also nice that they think of you, but they maybe are looking at you as a last living connection to their dead son. Not consciously, perhaps, but still. Do you want to be that relic and reminder? Probably not. Someone else posted a nice note you can write explaining where you're coming from. That may be the best approach. I'm very sorry you all have suffered such a loss. Take care. If you don't feel that being in their lives is best for you, then don't do it. They are hurting because they lost a son and brother, but that doesn't mean they're entitled to have you as a consolation prize or as a monument to their late son. You are allowed to decide what course you want for your life, and their pain doesn't entitle them to make demands of your life and time. You can't help them and shouldn't help them. It would be one thing if you were great friends and got along so well before your boyfriend passed away and now wanted to continue that relationship. But that doesn't sound like the case. For your own mental health, just cut them off. If you are okay with it, you should at least meet them once. It could be a step for them to get some closure, meeting their lost loved one's partner. It's up to you if you feel up to it, but maybe it could help. This is not the same as being a part of their lives. That would be weird, if you weren't in their lives when he was alive. You are under no obligation to associate with anyone that you don't want to associate with. You can 100% tell them that you are trying to move forward and no longer wish to have contact with them. You can 100% recommend that if they need someone to talk to, they call a counselor. Partly because you remind them of him, but also because they want to make sure you're okay. You weren't his wife. You guys don't have any shared offspring. It's strange, honestly. I think their intentions are good, and I think in their grief they feel closer to him through you. This is not good for anyone involved, honestly. What happens if you eventually start dating? Are they going to feel betrayed on behalf of Ryan? They are prolonging their suffering. Perhaps when they reach out to you, say, "Thank you. I've also been thinking of Ryan. I speak to my grief counselor, even if you don't have one, say you do, and they are helping me heal. Unfortunately, I'm not in a place to see anyone. I hope they will eventually stop once time goes by." This is a no one is in the wrong situation. It is your choice to be in their lives as little or as much as you like. You can explain to them your thoughts, that you may need a break from his family for a bit to process your own grief, or how you need to move on with your life. I can see how they see you as a last link to Ryan and want to do right by you or have you as a presence in their lives. You also get a say here as how you want to continue. Good luck. This was a tragedy that most women your age don't have to deal with. You are only responsible for yourself here. Ryan would have wanted you to move on, not spend the rest of your life going to his family's Super Bowl parties. Their grieving and recovery is theirs to own, just as yours is yours to own. You're very young. You don't need to be tied down forever to this memory. I would just inform them you need distance to heal, and ask them to respect that. If they don't, then freeze them out. Stay away. There may have been a reason he did not want you around his dad. This is usually a red flag. I think they need to find a professional and not dump their feelings on you. You are sweet for listening, but it's not your responsibility to help them process Ryan's death. You are only responsible for you. I am not saying this because they have bad intentions. But they don't really care about you. For you. They care about you in relation to what you can do for them or be their emotional crutch. I only met his family at the funeral. How can I possibly help them feel better, feel like they're honoring his wishes while helping myself? For me, this says it all. It sounds like he may not have been that close with them if he didn't really introduce you, and if you don't know anything about them, you won't know how to help them through their grief while you're still experiencing yours, in my opinion. And ultimately, it isn't your place to help them when you have yourself to worry about. You aren't there to be their therapist. This is going to sound harsh as hell, but you don't owe them anything. They don't get to use you for closure. They don't get to use you to try moving on. Keep focusing on yourself and just stay away from them. Personally, I'd have already cut all ties to them. Wow, that's a lot of pressure on you, especially as young as you are and all that you have been through. I think maybe a grief counselor could help you make a decision. It's very sweet of you to speak to the dad as often as you do, but could interfere with your own moving on. Good luck and take care of yourself. I mean, can't you tell them that you are working through your grief and need to take a step back from them? That you appreciate them keeping in touch, but it's hard for you if you are frequently reminded of Ryan. He'll always hold a special place in your heart, but you eventually have to try to move on without him. You request privacy while you deal with these difficult emotions. No reason to lie to them or ghost and block without an explanation. This is also very fresh for them. If you can find it in yourself to keep contact a bit longer, that would be the kind-hearted thing to do, at least the talks with his dad. I know this is not what you wanted to hear, but they just lost their son, so if you could just fade out slowly that would be best. Right now they're still in it, and you are helping. People might say this at a funeral, but they probably won't follow up. Just forget it. They're seeing you as a living, walking memorial of their dead son. I've seen many threads similar like this. When you finally moved on and find a relationship with a new man, they will be furious. You should meet them at least once. Helping others helps you. I understand where you are coming from, but please keep in mind when you make your decision that you may be the only person his father feel he can open up to. He is not your responsibility, but I would still be mindful of that fact. I don't know why everyone is so sure that they want you in their lives as a way to connect with their son. All of a sudden everyone here is an expert psychologist who can read the situation through the internet. What if it's something way different? What if their motivation is that they're worried for you and how you're reacting and they want to help you be okay? It really could be any number of things. You are fortunate to have an opportunity to expand your friends and family circle. Those folks loved your boyfriend, as you did, and must feel some bond with you. Visit, learn, love if possible, and enjoy. If it ends up being a one-time visit, you're still better off.